If you're trying to decide between becoming a cloud engineer or a cloud architect, you must understand they're not two versions of the same career. One career rewards hands-on execution, and the other career rewards decision making, business thinking, communication, and leadership. And if you choose the wrong path, you could spend years building skills that don't move you towards the career you actually want. So in this video, I'm going to explain the real difference between a cloud engineer and a cloud architect, who each role is right for. And that way you can move to the career, the income, and the future that you desire. Most people ask, should I become a cloud engineer or a cloud architect? But that's not really the best first question. The better question is, what's going to make you happy, and how do you want to spend your days? Do you want to be the person who builds, configures, and operates cloud technology? Or do you want to be the person who designs the cloud strategy, guides architectural decisions, and explains the plan to leadership? And both paths can be excellent, and both paths can pay well, but they're just not the same career. And this is where so many people get confused. And confusion kills careers because it makes people prepare for the wrong career. And you can spend years getting better at the wrong career and not ever get to your goals. So a cloud architect is not a cloud engineer with more experience. They are different roles that demand different skill sets. So before you ask which career is better, ask yourself the type of work you actually want to do, because the wrong career choice will make you miserable. Some people chase architect roles when they really love hands-on engineering. Other people stay in engineering for years when they are built for and desire architecture, leadership, or strategy. So let's talk about what each role does. And we're going to start with the cloud engineer. A cloud engineer builds and operates cloud environments. That means they may work on the AWS cloud or the Azure cloud or the Google cloud. That means they're going to be working with Kubernetes and Terraform and CI/CD pipelines, monitoring tools, and more. The cloud engineer's work is very hands-on. See, cloud engineers build and deploy infrastructure. They write Linux scripts. They write Terraform code, configure systems, even troubleshoot them and fix them when they're broken. And that's important work. Essentially, cloud engineers turn ideas into working systems. And without cloud engineers, whatever our architecture strategy would be, would just stay on paper. And the business would never get the technology foundation it needs to thrive. Now, how are cloud engineers measured? They are measured by how they got their work done. Did the environment get deployed? Was the workload migrated? If they had an outage, was it fixed? And if so, how quickly was that outage fixed? And if you enjoy building or solving technical problems and working with technical tools, cloud engineering may be a great career for you. And in 2026, companies still need people that can build secure, reliable cloud-based systems. But if you want to influence strategy, lead decisions, work with executives, and shape the direction of the business, engineering may not be the career you actually desire. So let's talk about what a cloud architect actually does and their job. So a cloud architect designs cloud solutions. Now, the word designs can be gravely misunderstood. Designing an architecture is not just drawing diagrams. It's not just picking cloud services. It's not saying, use this database, this network, this firewall, this compute service. That's not architecture. A real cloud architect must understand the business problems and goals first, understand what the company is trying to accomplish. For example, the company might be trying to reduce costs or improve speed or modernize applications. And cloud architecture is about supporting the business's growth, the business's resilience, and even the business's compliance requirements, which means the architect must understand the business goal. And as architects, we create the strategy that's going to help that business reach their goals. And this includes designing the right business and technical approach, evaluating options, comparing the trade-offs between the options we have, analyzing risk, analyzing cost, and then being able to make recommendations to the company. and explain these recommendations to business leaders, security teams, engineering teams, and sometimes even the C-suite and the board. And that's why cloud architecture is typically considered a business role, at least as much, if not more, than it being a technical role. And the key to remember is that cloud architect is an advisor. Now, in order to be an effective advisor, it means you must be trusted by the company's executives. Because if you don't have the trust as an architect, your architecture will never get funded, it'll never be approved, and it'll never be built. So as you can see, the career path of the engineer is that of the builder. The career path of the architect is that of a decider. Now, choose the build path if you want to spend your days building things, configuring systems, automating systems, and troubleshooting systems. Now, choose the decide path if you want to spend your days evaluating options, looking at the trade-offs between the options, leading discussions, and really being able to explain those options to other people inside of that business. And that's going to give you some direction on where you should be. Now, we can also talk about salary and career growth between the cloud architect and the cloud engineer. In most companies, cloud architects are typically paid more than cloud engineers. Now, this does not mean that a cloud engineer is not valuable. A cloud engineer is extremely valuable. They build systems, automate the platforms, and keep everything up and running. Now, architects are typically paid more, and it's because the level of responsibility for the architect is very different. A cloud architect is going to be making higher level business decisions, and those decisions can affect the entire business. The cloud architect will decide what should be built and what strategy should be followed. The architect will be working to reduce risk, control costs, and the architect will even decide the strategy of the systems. And maybe that's to support growth or security or performance needs or other business needs. Now, the decisions the architects make can easily affect millions or billions of dollars for the end client. A strong architecture can lower costs, reduce risk, improve speed, improve the agility of the business, and support that business growth. And that's why cloud architects typically earn more. They're not just paid for technical knowledge. The cloud architect is typically paid for judgment, business impact, and strategic guidance. Now, here's the main takeaway for you. Both cloud architecture and cloud engineering are great careers. Cloud engineering is about execution. It's about hands-on work. Cloud architecture is about decision leadership. Cloud engineers build and operate systems. Cloud architects design the strategy, evaluate options and trade-offs, align stakeholders, reduce risks, and really connect cloud decisions to business outcomes. Now, cloud architects are typically paid more because they operate closer to the executive level. In fact, most architects are considered executives, and they're paid as executives. And their role revolves around business decisions, executive communication, leadership, risk management, and organizational impact. So I don't want you to just ask yourself which role pays more. I want you to ask yourself which role matches what I want to do. Which role matches the future that I want? Because that's the key to a great, happy, long-term career. Want to start your architect journey? Each week, I run 2 webinars on Zoom where we will deep dive on how to become a cloud architect or an enterprise architect or a security architect. And because these webinars are on Zoom, I'll be able to answer any architect career questions you may have. Hope to see you on the webinar. You can sign up for the webinar by clicking on the link in the description of this video. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell to be notified of new videos to assist you in your architecture career.